Alrighty.
How's Joe?
He's got a cracked collarbone, so I think they'll try and operate on that first thing tomorrow morning, and I'm not sure how long that takes, but you'd think it'd be at least 3 or 4 weeks.
Have you ever had one yourself?
And that might be the only thing I haven't had, I think. I'm trying to think. No, I've never had a cracked collarbone, but he's a huge loss for us. He was playing pretty well before he got hurt, and he's our captain and spiritual leader and all those things that he brings to our game. It's a big loss, but the one positive out of tonight through that injury was a lot of other players stood up and took the slack from a leadership point of view. So it's disappointing, but it gives other players an opportunity.
And Stanton was one of those, like he played on?
Yeah, Stan's got a kick on the ankle or the bottom of his heel, so we're not sure exactly what it is, but he was able to play at sort of 80-85%, and I thought his game tonight after half-time when he came back on with that injury was terrific. 2 goals, got a fair bit of the ball, defended really well, and enabled our rotations to happen, which I thought we really tied towards the end of the game. And without Stance performing that role, it might have been a different story tonight.
I assume you spoke to him and said, to see if he was good enough to go on, but it was obviously critical to spend on the run out.
Yeah, look, it was. It was a huge part of us winning tonight was Brent Stanton being our stay out in the ground. And obviously the doctor had made sure he wasn't going to make it worse, made sure it wasn't going to be something that would do him more damage. But when you're down to 2 rotations, they hadn't used their sub yet. They were coming pretty hard. Stance's effort in that second half was great.
Courtney Dempsey, he looked a little sore at times. So it's just,
Yeah, I think with Courtney, he did look a bit tired and a bit sore, and he hasn't played a lot of football in the last since he bruised his lung or had a small puncture in his lung against Sydney. Didn't train for 2 weeks, wasn't allowed to run, so he's taking some time to get his conditioning back. But still, again, played a significant role in the game off little work.
Were you worried there at any stage?
I think you're always worried at Etihad when a team gets within 12 points or in the last quarter, and it's reasonably easy to score here in late in games when there's because the ground sees to move the ball. I thought at 3/4 time, 24 points wasn't enough. We needed to score because of Port's ability in the last quarters. They've finished off games really well. They've outrun Collingwood and Sydney in the last quarters over the last 2 weeks, which is not easy to do. 10 minutes in that last quarter, we were throwing a few things around and trying to get the game back on our terms, and luckily it did.
Just another example of this team's resolve and maturity, I guess.
They've been great. They're maturing before your eyes, and their resolve is terrific, and you can't question their commitment to want to play football.
What did you think of Hooker's game, or the way that I suppose that you're able to use it because he was just in their way?
Yeah, 30 possessions. I'm not sure how many sort of intercept marks he took and helped out the other backmen, but he's a vastly improved player. Kale, he's been improving every year. And he's always been able to take a mark, but the confidence to leave his man at the right time, the confidence to beat his man and then leave his man at the right time and then use the ball well, probably hasn't been there before this year. He spent a lot of time with Sean Wellman over the last 2.5 years getting his game to the point where his ball use is a lot better, and I think he's the #1 intercept mark player in the competition. So he's adding. He's a really dangerous player for us because he wins back the ball and we can attack off the back of his intercept marks.
Just around the midfield, after you did lose Joe, was there anyone else that you were particularly pleased with, I guess, their adjustment to what had to happen?
Yeah, there was quite a lot. I think David Zaharakis' game for the first half, particularly second quarter when Joe wasn't there, was outstanding. Heppel again rose to the occasion. Brendan Goddard's leadership again. When Brendan came to us, the question was, could he play as an inside mid, or was he only a half back, or what? Well, I think he's proved to everyone that he's a quality midfielder. I thought Tommy Bell-Chambers obviously stepping up, not necessarily in the midfield, but dominating a game with 5 goals was exactly what we needed. And just little bits and pieces from Jason Winderlick in the middle, Myers in the middle. These guys are all playing their part, and without looking at stats and without looking at how much of the ball they had, I thought defensively and around the contest they lifted when we didn't have our captain.
How have you seen Elchin's last one?
It's fantastic, isn't it? Like, he's beaten some really good players. You'd have the stats there. What did Hartlett have? I'm not sure. 20, and looked dangerous probably in that last quarter. But up until then, I thought Jakey did a really good job on him and attacked. And the question we had to ask ourselves in that last quarter was, do we release Jake because he looked like the only one that had legs and able to run, or do we keep him on his job? And we decided to keep him on that job. But if you look at who he's played on, who he's beaten, it's a high quality midfielder.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.